We live in a world ablaze. The flames lick at the edge of our lives, and the smoke fills our lungs. Everywhere we look, there's a new fire, literal and figurative, threatening to consume everything we've ever known. Some say it's the end, that we're witnessing the final act of a grand tragedy that has been centuries in the making. And maybe they're right. But here's the thing about fire. It doesn't just destroy. It cleanses. It purifies. It forges steel in its heat. And out of the ashes, something new always rises. It's been that way since the dawn of time. And it will be that way long after we're gone. So here we are, standing on the edge of oblivion. But we're not afraid. We're not backing down. Neither should you. Because this is a moment we've been waiting for. The moment where we prove what we're made of. Where we decide if we're going to let the flames consume us. Or if we're going to rise stronger, smarter, and more determined than ever. This podcast, this voice in the darkness, is our beacon. It's a signal that we're still here, that we're still fighting. And we're not going anywhere. Not now, not ever. We're gonna talk about the hard things, the things that make your blood boil and your heart race. We're going to face the reality of our world, no matter how painful, because only by confronting the truth can we change it. So, if you're ready to walk through the fire with us, if you're ready to look the world in the eye and say, I'm still standing, then you're in the right place. Because this isn't the end. Nah, far from it. It's just the beginning. Welcome back. Let's get to work.
All right, so this is kind of like the last thing I wanted to jump into real quick, man. This was something that I read, something that I came across. I want to see what you all think. I want to see I want to see if you know what this is about. Okay. So I looked at this and it's called the Galilean wedding pattern. Okay? That's what this is called. Check this out.
Is that the video that you posted on Snap?
No.
No?
No, this is something else. Wait. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I posted on TikTok.
Oh, on TikTok.
So this is it, watch. Check this out. So it says a Galilean wedding is a sequence of events. That's what it says. The groom begins the marriage tradition by leaving his father's house and going to the home of his prospective, if not future bride. Okay. This is where this goes. And then it says, the father of the groom officiated the betrothal and set the terms and paid the price for the bride.
Okay.
Now, this is in Galilean tradition. The terms of the marriage covenant are read publicly and agreed upon the bride. Where am I? Gifts are exchanged.
Okay.
With the most extravagant given to the bride. The groom's dowry, or that is the down payment, is the down payment securing the betrothal and caring for the bride.
Okay.
The groom is handed a pitcher of wine, which he pours into a ceremonial cup called the cup of joy. The groom presents the cup to the bride, and she now has the choice to accept or reject it. Once the wine is drank by the bride, the covenant becomes irrevocable. The groom says publicly, "You are now consecrated to me by the law of Moses, and I will not drink this cup again with you until we drink it together in my Father's house." A year-long journey begins. His people return to their lives, and the work of preparing for the wedding now begins. The groom acquires everything needed to build the new home for him and his bride. The Galileans would have instantly understood that the groom had to go away to build a home. In the meantime, the bride goes about preparing herself for the groom. keeping herself pure and thinking only of the groom's return while not knowing the exact day or hour. The general sequence of events, the general timing and observation of the preparations would tell the bride that the time was getting near. Only the father knew the exact day and hour, and only the father could say, "Go get your bride." The Galilean wedding, it was expected that the groom would come in the middle of the night at an unknown time, and the bride traditionally slept in her wedding dress. When the father of the groom says, "Go," the son gets trumpet and sets off for the bride with the wedding party in the wedding procession. 2 men would carry the bride away, lifting her up in the air on a seat with a pole on either side for men to carry her. Galileans refer to this as flying the bride to the father's house. From the moment the bride is carried away, she is forever with the groom. Upon arrival, the wedding party would find the wedding guests had assembled. Shortly after the arrival, the veiled bride and the groom would be escorted into the bridal chamber alone, where the marriage should be consummated. The wedding feast would continue for 7 days. During the 7 days, the bride remains hidden in the bridal chamber. During this time, the Galilean father closes the door to the house and keeps out all those who had rejected the invitation or who were not prepared. At the conclusion of the 7 days, the groom would bring the bride out, her veil removed, so that all would see who the bride was. Does any of this sound familiar, man?
Yeah, very familiar. First of all, where did you get this from? Is that
I found this
actual...
I found this in, what is this called? All right, time out here real quick. I need to interrupt this video to go over a few things, okay? First things first. Did you smash that like button over here? Did you hit that subscribe button somewhere over here? While you're doing that, I'd love to take this opportunity to talk to you real quick about a serious matter, okay? Life is unpredictable, but your family's future doesn't have to be, okay? Do you have family? Do you have people that depend on you and you love them very much? What would become of them if something unfortunate were to happen to you, okay? Would they be able to produce $15,000 for funeral expenses, etc.? If no, then make sure you reach out to Simple Insurance. Okay, secure your legacy with Simple Insurance. Simple Insurance is securing legacies one client at a time, one family at a time, one community at a time. Again, protect what matters most by giving yourself peace of mind and send that final love letter to the ones that you love in the unfortunate event that something would have happened to you. Okay, get a free quote today. Again, that's Simple Insurance. The information will be in the description box below. And as always, peace. It's a website called Serious Faith,
but that's an actual legit thing that Galileans, I guess.
Yes, this
used
was their,
to do.
This was a tradition. Yeah.
Throw, or what's it called?
Yeah. So there was arranged marriages. That was the first thing.
Oh, okay. Arranged, and this whole procedure had to be done.
Yes. In situation. This was unless in very very circumstantial things that, let's say like the son didn't have a father, right? But then somebody else would have to.
Yeah.
Take steps.
It's very interesting because even when Jesus was at the Last Supper, he told them, what was the word?
It's like, I will not drink this cup.
That
with you again.
Yeah, and that's what that also said, right?
And until it's my Father's house where there are many mansions, he says. And if it were not so, I would have told you. Yeah. So it's a lot of in the parable speaking from wedding tradition, I've said here before, this was before me even reading this. I've said before, the Bible to me is a wedding invitation. Yeah. That's for me. I don't know if that's correct. I don't know, But after reading this, I'm like, a lot of the parables he's drawing from this tradition. A lot of them. Yeah. So, I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
He has even a parable about that when he invited people to the wedding.
Yeah.
And the ones that were invited didn't want to go, so they went out to the streets to find whoever wanted to come.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, it's interesting stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff we could keep talking about here, but this was just one thing that I could see, like, a lot of the parables are drawn from this kind of tradition. And it's, who knows what's going to happen, right? But, like it says there, the bride is like when the bride, I think it says like the bride starts recognizing things, like, oh, the time is getting near.
Yeah.
Maybe she saw like, oh, there's like, the company that builds houses, like, oh, the lumber or whatever. I don't know how it was back then. There had to be something like, oh, when this is around, like something is gonna happen. Like this is getting closer. Jesus also says that, he says like, como, of that day and hour, no one knows, only the Father. He says,
that's
there will be
yeah.
there will be signs. He says there will be wars, there will be rumors of wars, there will be many who are gonna come in my name. He says, they're going to say, look, there he is, but do not believe them. So that's that. Like I like como telling like como like, in a sense, he was like speaking to the bride. I like, hey, you know what, like. Don't believe this. Yeah. Like, there's going to be rumors of wars. And I was like, know that the time is near. Like, I'm knocking on the door. Like, and there's going to be all this stuff. There's going to be people who are going to say it's me. There's going to be a fake husband.
I read this verse which says, in the last days, they will come in my name saying, I am the Christ, and deceive many. He says, do not believe them. Yeah. And I found, because on TikTok there's this whole thing going on of the New Age. I don't know if you've heard
yes.
what that is, right?
Yeah.
So they have a lot of teachings from the Bible, but they kind of
twisted,
yeah. and it's very like mystic. And what it teaches you is that everybody can be like Christ. Christ wasn't like just for one individual to be like that. Like he came to teach us how to be like him, and see, like the wording is even similar. We are to be like him, but not in the sense where he is high, like God, and we can be just like him. So these people will tell you like, no, he wasn't anything special. He was just teaching us how to do it, and we're also, we can also be him. We're Christ. So that's when it clicked in my head when I read that verse. I was like, many will call my name and they claim to be the Christ, and then these people say like, we are the Christ, right? And that in their sense, and I'm like, like it's that, like it's here now, it's already happening. Don't believe them,